I'm Ellie and welcome to my 2007 Toyota Hiace I have called Arcadia, which I have been self-converting into a camper van for traveling in for the past few months, and it is finally completed. I've been waiting so long to say that. I'm so thrilled with the results and I can't wait to give you a full tour. I'm Ellie Wilder and you're watching Wilder in Motion. So welcome to my side entrance, which is actually my main entrance. It's got my kitchen in front here and then this bit at the side, which is where I normally come in and out of, but I can use the boot as well if need be. This is the window that I put in, which is great for getting some airflow through the opening part there. But most of the time I try and park up near a garden so I can have this door open all the time and get some wind coming through there. I've got this section here which is blank at the moment, but I would like to put some art there to finish things off. I've got my tap which I installed, and I spoke about how it can be a shower in my plumbing video as well, which has been really handy to have two to rinse things off out here. And then just down the bottom here I've got a couple of drawers in between the slats of the step. So this one's just got some stuff for a blown tire, and then this one's got some rags in it. So stepping inside, let me give you a quick layout tour. So there's the kitchen at the front with the bench seat to bed at the back, the wardrobe across from the kitchen with some hanging storage and my fridge beneath, and then the front cab area. Into my kitchen area we've got the tap when it's facing inwards, which drains into my stainless steel sink. Then I've got a dish drainer that just sits inside and I lift this out when I want to use the sink. Now the sink has a couple of different settings and the pump turns on at my control panel, which I'll show you later. So down in this cupboard underneath the sink is where all my plumbing is. So that is where this sink drains out of, just there into a 10-litre grey water tank, which I thought would be too small, but actually most of the water I end up using or drinking, so there actually is never really any that goes to waste. Then at the front, this is my 20-litre freshwater tank that, as you can see, goes up the back there to the water pump. The water pump is quite loud, but that definitely encourages me to conserve water by only using it a little bit. And then there's all the underworkings of the tap just there. And then I've got a couple of other cleaning supplies at the back, and then this area is where the toilet goes. As you can see, I've added some new flooring from my video where I did my plumbing stuff, and that's just so that if it ever gets wet in here, it's really easy to clean by making the flooring go up the sides of the walls. And then I've got my little light here for when I'm using this area and it's dark. Continuing with the kitchen, I've got my Thetford 422 2-burner gas hob. I was really set on having a fixed stove. However, now that I've lived in here, I do think I could have made do with a camping stove. Underneath, I've got this cupboard which just houses my sandwich press, which I can use with my inverter. And then continuing down, I've got 4 drawers here. So the top one is, of course, cutlery. I've got a bamboo holder from Kmart. Then this is kind of the kitchen cleaning, junk drawer, random things. Then most of my kitchen stuff is in there, and then I've got my hot water bottle and pots and pans in this bottom one. So continuing on with my kitchen, next I've got my fold down bench top. Because there's not enough bench space in that area, this is really handy to be able to spread out on, and I never have too little bench space with this, but I can fold it away to use the seat underneath when I need. It's just on some hinges attached to the wall. So behind the bench seat here, I've got my long skinny storage cabinet, which mainly houses my collapsible dining table, which I made. And then it also has my reflectors in there during the day, and I've got a fly screen in there too for the window. And this is generally a really good spot to house things while I'm making the bed, for example. I can just put something in there temporarily and it keeps it out of the way. At the back I've got my bench seating area, which runs for 2 meters of the van, which allows me to comfortably have a large group of people sitting in here, and I made these reversible cushion covers myself. And then I use this ironing board, which I DIY'd into a folding table, as my dining table and a workspace. So for my bed, I pretty much got a twist on the classic 2 bench seats that then turns into one larger bed, except I've got this side here a bit narrower, so it's still a bench seat, but I can fit this long skinny storage cabinet for some of those more awkward shaped items. Over this side it's a bit deeper, so it's more like a couch. Then I've got a ply panel here with hinges on it. The doors open up, that folds out and sits on top of the doors, and then this piece here goes over the top of that ply panel, and this whole thing becomes a queen size bed. One thing I was concerned about is that it would be a little annoying making the bed up every day, but I've got it down to a pretty quick speed by doing a few clever hacks, such as creating a mattress protector that is also a fitted sheet by sewing a flat sheet onto an easy to attach mattress protector. So a couple of van bed tips. The first one is I've gone with an actual IKEA foam mattress as opposed to regular cushion foam to get a much more supported and comfortable night's sleep. I also like to layer a couple of different blankets and a sheet so that I can adapt to the different temperatures that the van goes through as opposed to just one heavy doona. I've also gone with a double size sheet on this queen size bed. Since I don't have room for things to hang over the sides, this just fits the space a lot better. I also don't have a bedside table, so instead I've got this toiletries bag, which I filled with the kind of stuff I would normally have on my bedside table. I also like to keep my phone and keys in here at night, so I always know where they are. Onto my underbed storage. In the one right next to the kitchen, I have the gas bottle for my hob, and then I have a plastic tub with my shoes in it. Further down the bench, I've got another cupboard. This one also has a plastic tub, has my camera gear in it, and then a spare 20-litre freshwater tank. Then across the aisle here, I've got more of those plastic tubs. This time it's got my sheets in it and towels in this one. And along to the final plastic tub section, I've got bags in that one, and then some repair stuff, tools and things like that in that tub. So next to my folding bench, I've got my vertical garden, which I made in my last video. Then around the back, I've got this sign I made, which is Arcadia, which is the name of my van, and I put some gloss over the top, so it's all shiny. For the roof, I wanted to keep things really simple, so I just covered it in some dark green fleece fabric. I've got my Max Air fan in the middle there, and that's just glued over the top of my foam insulation. So onto the side of my wardrobe here, I've got a few electrical items like this 12-volt fan to keep me cool. I've got my charge controller, and if you've been following along with my electrical problems, I think this is the problem, so I'll be replacing that with a different brand and an auto electrician shortly. I've also got my puck light remote and my Max fan remote. And then down here is my little electronics nook. So on the far side I've got my 1000 watt inverter, which has a switch at the front to turn it on. And then basically this board here has my chargers and things coming off it. Most of this cord is my laptop charger at the moment. Then over here I've got two 12-volt outlets, one for the fridge, one for the fan, and then this little fuse box here has my reversing camera on all the time, my Max fan, and my fresh water pump. So if I go up now to my Max fan, and turn that on with the remote, and my puck light next to it, I've got some magnets on the back of that so I can attach it to any part of the joist of the ceiling. So the wardrobe is split into two sections. This lower one I just keep my tea towel on. Got these latches which were meant to help keep them closed in conjunction with these little rollerball catches. However, it's not enough, so I'll have to add something else to keep those closed while I'm driving. Then on this side, in these smaller mesh baskets, I've got my pantry items, and down the very bottom one is my laundry basket. Then in the larger mesh baskets, I have my clothes. Then there's the front of the electronics nook, which I can also use the inverter to power my sandwich press. Then I've got more clothes. Then this one here is my laptop kind of electronic storage. And then the very bottom one is sort of stationary desk area type items. So my top cupboard is my dedicated storage cupboard for my toiletries, which has been so handy to have a separate area for this. So on the left here, I've got my portable vanity. So this container I lift out each day. I sit it on top of my folding bench top, and I get out my shatterproof mirror, and then I do my hair and makeup sitting there. This is amazing to just be able to have access to all of this stuff really easily in the van. It makes things so much easier getting ready in the morning. Then I've got my skincare night routine stuff there, and then more medicine stuff and jewelry on this side. So next to my wardrobe, I've got my 85-litre Glacio fridge freezer. So at the top it's got the 20-litre freezer and then a 65-litre fridge, and I really wanted one that was front opening, so I'm glad that I got that. And then up above behind this curtain is my hanging space, which fits so many clothes, and it's also great to be able to hang stuff since I don't have an iron. So I've got another curtain separating the rear cargo area from the front cab space, and I'll give you a little tour. Someone requested I do this area as well. So over to the side there, I've got my phone holder and a phone charger there. This is an automatic, and then that goes into a dual slot for a 12-volt inlet. That one connects my phone to the radio, so I can play music from my phone through the speakers, because it's kind of an old model. And then I've got a safety camera, dash cam there. I also installed a reversing camera, which is connected to the lights, so when I turn the lights on, and that is such a lifesaver in such a big van. Then in my glove box here, I've got the box for my reversing camera, some glasses, and some glass cleaning wipes. And then those are my reflectors, which I pretty much just keep on all the time because I actually get enough light through the other windows that I just keep this section closed off most of the time. And then here I do have a third seat in the van, which is really handy. Otherwise it serves as a cup holder, and it's even got a little table. My van also has a sliding door on the right hand side, which even though it is blocked from the inside, it's still really handy to be able to open up to access the fridge outlet, as well as my inverter and all my electrics over here, which feed down to my 120 amp hour lithium battery, which is located underneath my bench seat. And this is all fed by 200 watts of solar. Well, here is my completed van. I am so thrilled with how it turned out. To think that just a few short months ago it was an empty shell and now it is a full-blown tiny home is crazy, and I cannot wait to get traveling. If you have any questions about what you've seen in this video, then check out the link in the description to the playlist where I do all the DIYs, or leave me a comment below. Thank you so much to everyone who's followed my journey. Your support has been invaluable. To everyone who's watched my videos, given me ideas, and helped me out with the build. This is definitely the biggest project that I've ever taken on, and I feel very accomplished to now be here at the other side. And my message to any other young women out there is you don't need any exceptional skills or prior experience to do this. If you have motivation and internet access, then you can learn anything. This is not the end of the journey, this is just the beginning. I will still be creating videos on my travels, so if you don't want to miss that, then be sure to like, subscribe. I'll see you next time.